Voulez-vous an autre verre de homemade plonk?
No, thanks. One verre was more than enough.
Yes, it is a petit morceau strong, but that's the body.
I can see one or two bodies in here, actually.
Bits of cork, that's all.
One of them's moving.
June, please, this is the first really successful vintage that Chateau Medford has produced. I'm trying to be a bit more enthusiastic about it.
Honestly, darling, I think it's marvellous that you're making your own wine. All the care and effort you put into it makes me really proud of you.
Thank you.
But if it's all going to taste like this, I'd really rather you didn't bother.
Tastes like what? I mean, it's It is delicious.
Oh, Terry.
Well, maybe I haven't got the balance exactly right, but at least it's cheap.
Well, so's washing up liquid, but I don't want to drink it. And what's all this muck at the bottom of the glass?
Well, I mean, that is the sediment. All good wines have that.
Oh, yes, but should it really take up half the glass?
Well, you see, you've let it settle. I mean, you want to swirl it around like I do. Keep it moving.
How many more bottles of this stuff have you got?
Stuff? This isn't stuff. This is rice and raisin Liebfraumilch. It's got it on the label. On the label there.
Yes, I know. You've spelt Liebfraumilch wrong.
Yeah, well, I know you've told me that before, but I haven't got time to alter it on the other 43 bottles.
There's another 43 bottles of this?
No, sorry. There were 43. Now it's only 42.
Oh, why?
Well, when you went out shopping, one of them exploded.
Exploded?
No. Please, June, don't panic. That is a common occurrence when you make your own wine. But fortunately, it happened in a confined space, and it hasn't damaged the wallpaper.
Which confined space? You mean the shed?
No.
In the house?
Roughly.
Roughly where?
In the airing cupboard.
Airing cupboard? Terry, I've got a whole load of ironing in there.
I know that, but once it dries out again, you'll hardly notice the stains.
Oh, no.
Look, if it doesn't wash out, I'll pay for it to have it dry cleaned myself.
Oh. Terry, is it really worth it? I mean, it isn't as if we drink that much wine anyway.
We would if we had it.
We've got another 42 bottles of this, and I'm in no hurry to drink any of it.
It's early days, June. Rome wasn't built in a day.
If they'd had this to drink, it wouldn't have been built at all. I mean, if it's cheap wine you want, why don't you do what Malcolm and Beatty do?
I am not interested in anything Malcolm does. Last time they came out to dinner, he was rude and downright hurtful about that ale I brewed.
Well, I told you not to try your experimental recipe on them.
It is not an experimental recipe. I mean, I know it has an unfortunate name, but cock ale is a traditional English drink. It's been made for thousands of years. It says so here.
Perhaps you shouldn't have told them what was in it.
Well, anyway, I don't agree that Beatty was sick for days afterwards.
She certainly wasn't very well the following day.
Right, one day. I mean, it could have been anything. You weren't sick?
I didn't have any.
Well, Malcolm wasn't sick.
No, he wouldn't have any either. You were sick.
That had nothing to do with the cock ale.
Anyway...
I'd been feeling off-colour for days.
Well, as I was saying, Malcolm and Beatty take a day trip to France when they want some wine. They drive down to Folkestone. They get a day return to Boulogne for just over a £5, and they're allowed to bring back 7 litres of French wine each.
Ah, there's so much snobbery attached to French wine. What makes it any better than this?
Well, for a start, it's drinkable.
You cannot expect me to come up with a superb table wine in only 2 months.
Coming up with it isn't the problem. It's keeping it down that's difficult.
Well, maybe I opened it a little early. But I still say it is very, very palatable. And I'm improving. I mean, look at my notebook. I write down everything I do.
Including the explosions?
Especially the explosions. Saturday, 11:30. Muffled report from direction of airing company. Pectin mixture 2 combustible. Reduce for second trial bottle.
What second bottle?
Well, I've got to get the mixture right.
You mean you put another bottle in the airing cupboard after what happened?
Oh, June, please trust me. This one is perfectly safe. I make that 136. Agreed?
Terry, that's the second bottle gone.
Well, whatever it is, it proves I'm making progress.
Progress? What progress?
Well, it took longer to blow up this time. Come in. Come in.
I'm sorry to disturb you, Dr. Frankenstein. But you promised to give me a new body.
I'll give you a thick ear in a minute. This is a very crucial moment.
Looks good, smells good, and boy golly.
June, there is nothing funny about this.
You don't have to tell me. I've just finished clearing out the airing cupboard.
Look, I have apologised for that, but you can't make an omelette without breaking the eggs. You ought to know that.
Oh, I do, but I don't usually make my omelettes in the airing cupboard. Hey, how long has this been up here?
June, will you stop fiddling with my chemicals?
Your chemicals? That's my gravy browning.
That is just a colourant. I think this time I've come up with something really out of the ordinary.
I'm sure you have, but can you drink it?
Well, of course you can. That's the right colour for coffee liqueur, isn't it?
Well, it's the right colour for lots of things. Dr. Collis Brown, creosote.
You won't be convinced until you taste it, will you?
Oh, no, thanks. I'd rather you tasted it
I
first.
have every intention of doing so. Well, here's gravy browning in your eye.
Oh, dear. Is it that terrible?
It is delicious. Oh, this is better. This is better. It's better than the liqueur we usually buy. And how much do we pay for a bottle of that?
Oh, over £8.
£8, and that cost me hardly 8 pence. Go on, try it.
Are you sure?
It's delicious, I swear it. Oh, I can't wait to get to the office on Monday morning and ram some of that down Malcolm's throat. Oh, that is better and cheaper than any liqueur you can buy in France or anywhere else, for that matter.
This can't be that rice and raisin muck.
Do you mind, please?
This can't be the Liebfrau Milch we had at lunch.
Ah, that's all it is. That is all it is, plus gravy browning and coffee extract and a few extras added during the blending process.
But it's quite different. It's so warming.
Ah, that's the secret ingredient.
What, the coffee extract?
No.
Not the gravy browning.
Of course not.
Well, what is it then?
Half a bottle of Polish vodka.
Cheers.
Oh, God. My God. Oh, my God.
Good morning, Malcolm. What a lovely morning for a Monday morning.
Oh, shut up.
I can tell by your cheery welcome you've had a marvellous weekend. Rested, renewed and revitalised, are we?
If you must know, I spent most of the weekend in the basement.
Oh, had another row with Beatty, have you? Been derailing your electric train again, has she?
As a matter of fact, I had occasion to pull up a couple of floorboards down there. It was a dreadful mistake.
It certainly was. I mean, that's the first place they'll look for a body. Why didn't you chuck her off the ferry mid-channel?
If you don't stop gibbering, Teddy, I may strike you. This is serious.
Oh, sorry.
My house is riddled with rot.
Oh, no. How do you know?
I could see it. Under the floor. A great, white, horrid fungus sitting there like one of Beatty's meringues. So I immediately got our little man to come round.
Oh, you've got a little man, have you?
Oh, yes, marvellous little chap. Good old Bob. He's not too bright, but he's everything a good worker should be. Industrious, keen,
cheap
as dirt. Won't even charge VAT.
Oh, doesn't believe in it.
No, he's too thick to work it out. Anyway, he came round, pulled up some more floorboards, and you know what he said?
What?
We don't have a DPC.
No.
Afraid not.
No DPC?
Not a trace of one.
Fuck, you must be in a state.
No, wouldn't you be?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Why not?
I don't know what a DPC is.
DPC means damp-proof course, you idiot. Without one, you get all the troubles I got on my shoulders.
At least you and Beatty have got each other.
Is that supposed to be funny, Terry?
You've got each other, your little man and your little house.
Well, the house has got dry rot, wet rot,
Fungus rot.
woodworm, borers, and for all I know, Death Watch beetle.
Oh, lucky you're both fond of animals, isn't it? Calm down, Malcolm. I have the very remedy to banish your Monday morning blues. You remember how scathing you were about my homemade wine and beer?
Oh, good grief, you haven't made me all that swatted chicken juice.
It was cock ale.
Well, it was a cock...
That Not another word. Not another word until you have tasted this.
I'm not touching that stuff. I may feel suicidal. I've no intention of going the whole hog.
One bottle contains commercially made liqueur. The other one is coffee liqueur de Chateau Medford. I defy you to taste each and tell the difference.
If anyone walks in now, they'll think we're a couple of dipsos.
Just one sip from each, and if you like it, I'll let you keep the bottle.
Well, here goes.
Harris?
Oh, good Sir Dennis.
Oh, there you are, Medford. I'm glad you're here. I want you to listen to this. When you did this report over the weekend, Harris, were you by any chance drunk?
Drunk, sir? Certainly not, sir. I don't do that sort of thing, do I, Teddy? Teddy!
Pulleys, he's had a very, very worrying weekend. What we're seeing, meringues under the floorboards and little, and little men and bugs.
You mean he's got the DTs? Teddy!
No, the opposite, sir. He's got to have it put in.
What in?
A DTT. A PVC. CP what was it again?
DPC. You see, sir, I've suddenly discovered I've got rot.
Have you? Well, there's nothing to the rot I've discovered in this report. I mean, listen to this. This year's prices have been stable, but we must prepare the company for shorter man-hours and rising damp.
I think he meant...
I'm perfectly capable of telling Sir Dennis what I make myself, thank you. I'm not an idiot, you know.
That's not an opinion shared by everyone, Harry.
The trouble is, sir, he's got fungus on the brain.
And I hope the condition is operable.
Teddy, isn't it time you went back to your own office?
Time?
What are you doing now?
Oh, don't worry, sir. It's a very, very old suit, sir.
It's coffee liqueur, sir.
Coffee liqueur?
Yes. Malcolm was having a glass when you came in, sir.
Coffee liqueur at 10 o'clock in the... My God, Harris, your drinking's got totally out of hand. I mean to say I might have an occasional snort of brandy for breakfast, but coffee liqueur, it's disgusting.
Oh, no, sir. It's very nice, actually. I made it myself. Try some.
You see, Teddy brought some in the office for me to sample, so I tried to say no, but he would insist. So you see, it's all his fault, really, sir, not mine at all. I normally don't drink during office hours, or even abnormal for that matter.
Oh,
you see.
shut up,
Certainly,
Harris.
yes, Sir Dennis.
Do you know this is damn good, Medford?
Thank you, sir.
I wonder if I could ask you a small favour.
Oh, certainly, sir. Keep the bottle.
No, not that, no. You say you made it yourself?
Yes, it's one of my hobbies, sir.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Hmm. Well, I have been asked to judge the homemade wine at this weekend's flower show. They've dumped a few bottles round to my house already for prejudging. I suppose you wouldn't be prepared to do it for me?
Oh, I should be honoured, sir.
Ah, mind you, if it was whiskey they were asking me to judge, you wouldn't get a look in. You don't make whiskey, do you?
I know.
Oh, pity. Well, never mind. Don't let me keep you from your work.
Right, sir.
You did say I could keep the bottle, didn't you?
Yes.
Don't forget your briefcase.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll arrange to. They want to do the. They want to do the judging this evening. Is that agreeable?
Oh, most agreeable, sir.
On your way, Teddy. Move.
Just a moment, Harris. Just a moment. Now, tell me, Medford, what time do you usually get home from work?
Well, usually, sir, I get... I usually get back,
Right about when?
right about what's that? What?
Well, right about what time do you get home?
Oh, I generally, I generally dribble in about 6-ish.
Well, I'll arrange to have the wine delivered before then.
Thank you, sir. I should be ready for it by then.
Right. Do you know this really is very good liqueur, Harris?
Is it, sir?
Yes, it is. Oh, God. Good damn leaky bottle there.
Oh, I don't know, Beatty. Well, of course, I'd love to go to Boulogne, but it all depends on Terry. I'll ring you back later, okay?
Hello, love.
Oh, horrible.
What?
It's a dreadful thing to have happened. Yes, absolutely awful. Poor you.
Don't tell me your mother's lost her pipe again.
I'll ring you back, Beatty, okay? Bye. I've just been hearing about the awful thing Beatty's got in the house.
Oh, has Malcolm got home already?
What did he think of the wine?
Oh, everything went down very well.
Did it?
Yeah, all down my jacket and all down Sir Dennis's trouser legs. But he must have liked it because he kept the whole bottle.
Yes, I always thought he was an old soap.
He certainly was this morning. Actually, he's asked me to be a judge on a winemaking competition. He's sending over a couple of bottles this evening.
Yes, they've already arrived. I put them in the kitchen.
Good. We'll spend a few pleasant moments after dinner passing judgment. On the other hand, it may take a little longer. Now we'll award each wine marks up to 30 and add comments afterwards. You better do the marking, unless, of course, you would like to do some judging.
Oh, no, I don't think so. One of us had better stay sober enough to hold the pencil.
What's the... What's the bucket for?
Oh, that's for you to spit the wine into.
I hardly think that'll be necessary. I mean, if it's going to taste that bad, it wouldn't be in the competition.
Oh, but I've been reading your guide to winemaking. The professional judge sips the wine, circulates it round his mouth a number of times, passes it over his uvula, and then spits it out.
Passes it over his... what?
His uvula.
Have I got one?
Of course you have. It's the little blob that hangs down at the back of your throat.
Oh, you mean that thing the mouse uses as a punch bag in Tom and Jerry cartoons?
Yes, that's it.
It's halfway down my gullet, and if the wine gets down that far, it'll never come up again.
Professional judges manage it.
Over the years, they've hardened their uvula, and the great dollop of wine rattles down the throat, hits the uvula, and bounces back up again. But I am an amateur judge, and I have a flabby uvula.
Yeah. In other words...
I'm not spitting good wine into that bucket. All right, the first one, dandelion and burdock.
Right. Colour.
3 out of 5.
Bouquet.
3 out of 5 again.
Balance, flavour and quality marks out of 20.
13 and a half. No, definitely 13 and a half.
Remarks?
This wine, though modest in its pretensions, has a fullness of body and taste that conjures up the English countryside in all its glory. Sipping its fresh, wholesome taste, one almost has a vision of a rural hedgerow, alive with birdsong. Overhead, a lark twitters.
A lark twitters? Terry, you are not writing a 1,000-word essay. Just tell me if it's good, bad, or indifferent.
Very good, very good. Well done, Mrs. Ethel Bunce of 14 Monthly Drive. Keep up the good work.
Right, next wine.
Fig and prune social wine.
Fig and prune?
Social wine, yes.
Why is it called social wine?
I suppose when you drink it, I mean, everybody gets to know each other a lot better. Breaks the ice and gets things moving.
Well, I think we'd better leave it till last. Because you don't want to get moving yet. You've only just sat down.
Yes, I'll move on to the next wine. Rhubarb wine.
Colour.
Oh, 5 out of 5.
Bouquet.
1 out of 5.
Balance, flavour and quality. Remarks?
My teeth have gone soft.
Yes, but what does it taste like?
Taste?
Yes.
Well, you know what they put on rhubarb, don't you? And I don't mean custard.
So it's a fairly safe bet we will be able to use your ferry tickets. Well, I haven't actually asked him yet, but he is in a pretty mellow mood. Well, he's been sampling homemade wine for the last hour and a half. Oh, yes, as a newt. Sorry, Beatty, I've got to go. There's someone at the door. Bye-bye.
Ah, Mrs. Medford.
Oh, Sir Dennis.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. The council meeting overran. Did you get my message?
No, I'm afraid we didn't.
Oh, well, I thought it only fair to introduce the rest of the judges to your husband personally.
Oh, yes, terribly kind of you, Sir Dennis, but actually he is, he's managing very well on his own.
Do you mean you started already?
It's nearly finished.
Wine in wine. Mrs. Ethel Bums entries. Old Dandy Doll and Bing Dong. Babby Doll and Dandelion. No, Dandelion and Bam Parts.
Terry!
Brandy Ball and...
Medford.
No, mate, begins with a B.
Terry! Sir Dennis is here.
Blimey. Oh, God. Evening, sir.
Are you tiddly, Medford?
Well, not anymore, so you have an amazing way of serving someone.
Well, I must say I do admire the way you went straight down to things, but I'm afraid this time you've jumped the gun. You're going to have to sample those wines all over again in front of the other judges.
Again?
Oh, yes, doesn't count otherwise. Right, here you come. Come along. Got everything set up in the kitchen, everyone?
Yes, Sir Dennis, but I wonder if it would be better
Oh,
if we
Lady
tried to
Bamford, the
split it
judging
into
through there, would you? Big if you follow her, Lady.
good evening.
And you, Colonel, that's right. Just go straight through there. Yeah.
What's in the boxes?
Oh, that's the rest of the wine.
You mean there's more?
Oh, yes, there's all the clarets and the sparkling wine. Yeah, well, I'll just go in there and see if everybody's set up. I think we're going to need another couple of chairs.
Plus a stretcher and a stomach pump.
I'll tell him you can't go through with it.
Don't worry, I can cope, but this time I think I'm going to use the bucket.
Yes, I think you can.
Off we go then.
Terry! The kitchen is over there.
I know that.
Well, where are you going?
Well, after drinking all that wine, where the hell do you think I'm going?
What are you sitting there for?
I'm sitting here waiting for the stairs to stop wobbling.
I was just bringing up your breakfast.
That is an unfortunate phrase.
I'm sorry. Oh, you did have an awful lot of wine last night.
Do you think Sir Dennis noticed?
Fortunately, he left before you were too outrageous.
Outrageous?
Here, you better drink this.
Oh, what did I do? No, don't tell me. No. Was I bad?
Well,
but no, I'll leave it. Not on second thought, you better tell me. No, I'm not strong enough.
Do you want me to tell you or not?
Just tell me this. Was it as bad as Uncle Fred's funeral?
Oh, no. It wasn't as bad as that. Except at one point, you did get awfully fond of Lady Bamford.
No. What happened?
Well, it was just after midnight, and you gave her a great big hug and said, "Good old boozy Bamford."
Was she upset?
No, not a bit. She was as drunk as you were. It was quite funny, actually. But afterwards, when everybody'd gone, you did something that made me really happy.
Did I? You mean we?
No. You agreed that we should take a day trip to Boulogne on Saturday.
What?
Well, yes. Don't you remember? Malcolm and Beatty had booked the ferry. But because of their economy drive, they couldn't go. So they've given us their tickets. Don't you remember you said, "Oh, we must brush up on our French"?
With my head?
No, with a tape recorder.
Leçon 3.
Leçon 3.
Le voyage de Pierre et Marie.
Le voyage de Pierre et Marie.
Bonjour, Marie.
Bonjour, Marie.
Bonjour, Pierre.
Bonjour.
Pour la France.
Nous partons pour la France.
Nearly forgot the case.
Vous nearly forgot the case. Merci bien.
Why does it have to be so big?
We're bringing back 14 litres of wine, remember? That's in a string bag.
Everyone does that. We'll capsize the boat.
All the more reason, then, for taking such a big case.
Why?
We can use it as a life raft. Au revoir.
Bon voyage.
Bon voyage.
Merci, Marie.
Merci, Marie. you check the tickets, I'll get the case.
Excuse me, sir. This is a British Rail car park. You'll have to move that now.
Why? Is the express due?
There's a public car park 50 yards on the right.
Oh, all right. Give me my passport and ticket, love.
I'd rather stay with you.
No, you get on board and grab a table at the buffet. It's packed this time of year.
Oh, well, bon voyage.
Au revoir. Oh, this is hopeless.
Oh, excuse me.
Oui, madame.
Oh, parlez-vous anglais?
But of course.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry to bother you, but my husband doesn't seem to be here yet. I know it's asking an awful lot, but I don't suppose you could just hold up your boat just for a couple of minutes. He's probably having trouble parking.
Sorry, madame, but if we don't depart on time, the next boat in will also have trouble parking. You're sure he was not amongst the last passengers to come on board?
Well, I have been looking for him, but... Oh, thank heavens, I think I can see him now. Which is the quickest way down, please?
Now, through this doorway, down the stairway, and to your right.
Thank you very much. You've been very kind, and you can start your boat whenever you like.
I'm sure the crew will be very glad to hear that.
Terry! Darling, I'm so glad to see you. I'm terribly sorry. I thought you were my husband. Terry! Terry!
Bon voyage!